if you saw the Doomsday image, like, okay, like you don't know what's happening in that point in time. You get what I mean? It didn't spoil the
Yeah,
movie. I had no idea how he was going to be coming about. You know what I mean? But
exactly. Yeah, it didn't bother me when I saw it in the trailer. I know, some people thought he looked like a troll or something like that, but you know, maybe they should look in the mirror.
right, yeah,
Mic
probably,
drop.
yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, kind of. But and it is just to kind of wrap up a few last fun facts all together at once. This movie is obviously directly compared to Captain America: Civil War. Both movies kind of came out around the same time. They almost came out on the same day at one point. They're both about two heroes and their conflict with each other. Both kind of set up a future Avengers movie. And of course, one of my favorite behind the scenes aspect to the release of BvS was the online fan campaign for hashtag Batman for Baz, which he was a terminally ill Batman fan. He was able to see the movie before passing away. I actually sent someone really close to him, a good friend of his, a free copy of the book that was super cool to that they reached out and said it'd be such a fun thing to do, and so I was so glad to
mm,
be able to do that for him. And obviously, like another cool thing when it came to the actual press junket was the Jimmy Kimmel skit where
mm-hmm.
like Matt Damon was in the coat and Matt in the coat of Ben Affleck, and then they did the
Mm-hmm.
scene, when they had them together, and Jimmy Kimmel's like, "You're Batman, you're Superman," and
Yeah,
that was one of my favorite things. And obviously the sad Affleck meme, I'm sure everybody knows about that. The Simon and
yeah,
Garfunkel song, "Sound of Silence." And one last thing to celebrate, like the Easter eggs, like the hidden references, in his movies. Back in 2018, Zack Snyder held a BvS reference challenge for his fans to submit any references from his movies that they found, those references significance. And one of those 10 winners, entry number 108, the falling down motif, to be exact, is
mm,
here with us today. John Garza.
that's right.
Do you want
Yeah,
to
that's what
kind
I was
of
saying, man.
explain? Kind of explain what that was about exactly?
Yeah, so again, it goes back to like the being able to look at something and be like, oh, visually or cinematically, there's things that are happening within the film that are layered, to where it's like you're just watching it and okay, cool, like that works, but all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, no, that happens too frequently or too often to where it's like that there's a reason for it. So one of the things that I pointed out was it was either a falling down or looking down motif or looking up. And the way it was is if Bruce was always looking up at something, it was because he either didn't have control over it or he didn't understand it. So, if you see him whenever he's watching the screens of Superman, and he's looking up, the angle's up, right? When he looks at the suit, he's looking up. Obviously when he's fighting Superman, he's looking up. He's like, staring right at him. And I mean, all of that stuff is there, right? And it goes for that, but also falling. So if you look at, he's falling in the dream, the leaves are falling, the everything's falling in the middle or in the with the sparks. Obviously he falls down, the pearls fall down. If he's up in the corner when we first see him, that's him looking down on us like he's in control, right? So it's just he jumps down in Lex Luthor's place, he's got control. He's whenever he's in the warehouse, he's looking down, he's in control. Like it's those are the things that are, they're all there for a reason. And I mean, this goes back to Citizen Kane. I mean, he did the same thing. Orson Welles did the same thing in Citizen Kane. So it's not a new technique, obviously, because that was in the 40s. It took me until 2016 to realize, oh, these little things that I was just oblivious to. I didn't, care to really pay attention to. They're all there. I didn't see them. And so, I talked about that and what it really was to look at even the way Superman or the way BBS ends. I mean, the dirt is rising, it's going up, right? So it's
Yeah.
like all these things are there, whether you see them or not. It's just okay. You can still enjoy the movie without seeing them, but they're there. They're there for a reason, and it's put in there for Zach because that's what he did. He did that intuitively, like he was doing that as a visually. This is why what I want to get across. Whether you get it or not, cool. But maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. I don't know. It was just an awesome thing to kind of see, like the way it is, and again, if you look at like the way when he's in the dream though, he's looking up, but it's false, right? So it's a lie. So he thinks he's in control, but he's not because it's a dream. Same thing with when he visits his mother's grave. He's
Yep.
looking up, but all of a sudden it's because it's a dream, so he's not really there. So it's just all these little things that are like, oh, okay. And then when he's looking down at his his family crest, and he's explaining how and why he is the way he is, same thing. He's in control, at least thinking that he's in control for what he's doing. That's all.
And what was the prize that you got for being one of the 10 winners?
So he had sent. I really wish he would have signed something like that'd have been cool. Like, I'm not complaining or anything. I'm just saying like just one thing. Obviously, because I knew that he's probably was busy, so he probably just had an assistant do it, like whatever, just grab all these things. But I got like the Man of Steel, Watchmen, and BvS soundtracks, CDs. I got this badass Watchmen, which is crazy because it was Watchmen, but whatever, I love it. The Watchmen, like DVD and book, or 4K and book, and it was like it's like a vinyl cover that you twist it and you could see their costumes changing, and it was the ultimate cut. Yeah, so it was the ultimate cut, so it's the longer version. And then obviously BvS, Man of Steel, DVD and Blu-ray, and I think the Wonder Woman soundtrack as well, because I have it. I know I didn't buy it, so I have it. But and then like a coin. There was a coin. It was like two sides. So you had one side was Batman, the other side was Superman. Is the coin that Henry Cavill made for everybody.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just like a little like patch from from the film, or not from the film, but like the patch that you could like sew on a jacket, I think, or something. I think of the bat symbol. And this book of the spots in Metropolis and Gotham. Like there's the Iceberg Lounge is like referenced in this book, so it's like it's funny, but
right.
Yeah, I think that was it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I was thankful. I was like, dude, that's insane, man. Because like that coin, that coin is like, it's literally priceless. There's none of those are made unless you were involved in the film.
Yeah, you can't buy it.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably buy it if somebody was selling it, but that'd be crazy.
If you're spending a lot of money,
right?
And of course, hey, if you want to read more all about John's BvS reference entry, you can find it in my book, The Snyderverse Saga. Plug. If you have the hardcover and paperback, it's page 266, is where you'll find his entry. And if you want to see mine, even though I didn't win, mine is on page 271. So if you're curious, check it out.